Texans get a win, and oh my goodness, that was really, really easy. What were the vibes like? What did the players have to say? What did DeMeco have to say? And what the hell is next? Let's go inside the locker room, playoff edition, playoff advancing edition now.
Yeah. It's the locker room on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey. Locker room, yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk, yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize.
My goodness, who saw that coming? Not too many people. Texans advance in the postseason. Texans sitting back, waiting to find out who the hell they're going to play. It is the locker room, number one source for Texans daily digital content. I'm Landry Locker. You can hear me Monday through Friday, 10 to 2 Central Sports Radio 610. And the Odyssey app. You can see me right here daily ever since the start of last year when we started this stream. Texans get the dub. And right off the top, I'm going to go ahead and start this off with an apology. Be sure to get the comments in. Be sure to like. We'll hear from DeMeco Ryans. We'll hear from CJ Stroud. And we'll hear from a lot of people. I got to talk to Brevin Jordan one-on-one. I got to talk to Blake Cashman one-on-one. Cody Stutz will probably hop in here and want to hear from you. So keep the comments going. Talk amongst yourselves. First thing I will say is the rumors and the fear that there was going to be a lot of orange in that stadium were greatly exaggerated. That was the most pitiful presence by an opposing team that we've seen all year long. Now, maybe that has to do with the fact that there were more Texans butts in seats, but my fears, the dialogue, I think Daryl Ryder, 92.3 The Fan, said he anticipated it. I mean, there was no presence of the fans there at all. Not even a little bit, not even close. The apology, man. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this out there. And I think a lot of people might be able to join in on this. I gotta apologize to CJ Stroud. And this has nothing to do with the draft. Everyone knows I was a Bryce guy. I think there were a lot of Bryce guys. This has nothing to do with that. This has to do with getting months of elite quarterback play and then thinking that maybe this would still be a close game. The difference CJ Stroud makes is more than, hey, both of these teams are going to fight. It's going to be a good football game. That beatdown that Cleveland handed the Texans, while there was a lot of gray area there, the biggest thing was very simple. CJ Stroud didn't play. He makes the defense better. He makes the offense better. He makes the crowd better. And the Texans, complete beatdown of the Cleveland Browns. Texans were a 2-point underdog. I think Las Vegas owes CJ Stroud an apology because the Browns, that was an outman team, that Cleveland Browns team. It was outmanned. I thought this was going to be a close football game. I think most people thought this was going to be a close game. It wasn't. And I shouldn't have underestimated the difference that CJ Stroud makes. I thought the Texans were going to win the game. I thought it would be a close one. No siree. CJ Stroud today, you look at the stats and they're good, but he didn't even have to do anything in the second half, really, because of the 2 pick sixes. And he got taken out. I mean, he was 16 of 21, 274, 3 touchdowns, and he probably could have thrown for 500 yards had he wanted to. And this is one of the best defenses in the NFL. I mean, this was a college football type of beatdown. And it was a top to bottom. It was an elite game plan by Bobby Slowick, and we could see that confidence. You guys remember coming in here in the stream, you could see the confidence that Bobby Slowick. It kind of felt like he knew something. And by the way, I got to say bye-bye, Bobby. I think this might be the last time we see Bobby Slowick call plays at NRG, because my man was getting more camera time than Taylor Swift and rightfully so at the end of that game. That drive, and I think there were a couple of moments in this game. The drive where they started off with a pitch to the right to Singletary, and he had the 20-plus yard run, and it was capped off with the fake pitch to Singletary to the right, and then the throw to Nico on the touchdown. Bobby was in his bag there. And then you had the drive that the play. This wasn't even a drive. This was one play. The Brevin Jordan touchdown that I thought was really hilarious. And I'll tell you why afterwards, after the game. Something that happened in the Texans locker room, not this locker room. But I thought that Brevin Jordan play, the 76-yard touchdown, was important because it felt like Cleveland was taking back the momentum, and the Texans didn't even have to sustain a drive. As a matter of fact, it was just like a quick reset. It reminded me a lot in different ways because the Texans were down 2 possessions in that, but it reminded me a lot of the Noah Brown play against Tampa Bay, where Noah Brown had the 75-yard touchdown with the Tank Dell block. It just kind of felt like one of those like type of momentum swinging type of plays. I thought that was really, really huge. It had been 1,470 days since the Texans had hosted a playoff game. Last time it was the Buffalo game. Deshaun Watson, who was in the house today, he was saving all butts. This time he was just kind of sitting on the sidelines watching. There was nothing that he could do. The pregame vibes were strong. The concourse was as full as it's been in a while. There weren't a lot of Browns fans. You could kind of feel people just like flocking to their seats. Like even with 55 minutes left, you could kind of feel that people wanted to have their butts in their seats. The crowd was so loud. Unfortunately, it wasn't a close game, but they were doing mocking dog barks of the Browns. You could hear those throughout the stadium. There was also a moment where they were chanting MVP so loud that CJ Stroud had to call timeout. Fortunately, the game was out of control there, and you could just sense it. It was the best environment, and it was 2011 like. Caserio. So I'll pull back the curtain. After the game, my hand's kind of jacked up. You can kind of see a little bit like right here. It's not like broken or anything. It was kind of, I've been critical of Caserio at times. Although I never faulted him for like the coaching hires or anything. It's more so just like the guilt by association with Easterby. But I was waiting by the locker room after the game. And I got down there a little bit early. I was eating some popcorn, and the coaches and the GM, they get let down first. Like, so if you're in the press box with 2 minutes left, they kind of they freeze the elevators, and the coaches and like Caserio and all them, whoever's up there gets to come down. Caserio is running. He's gassed up. Caserio is always gassed up, and he just kind of reaches his hand out for like a fist bump, and I just kind of reluctantly reach it out. Boom, like a punch right in there. Like he's just, if you ever like dab up Caserio or something, like he'll slap you on the back. It's almost like a Ric Flair chop. But Caserio's got my hand effed up. But if you build a roster like that, then I guess you can do that for sure. We'll hear from DeMeco Ryans in a sec. Let's just kind of set the scene of the game, kind of revisit what went down. Texans get the dub over the Browns. It is the Locker Room, #1 source for Texans daily digital content. Be sure to subscribe, like, right along. Best Texans coverage in the country. The first thing that we kind of saw in this game, and it was kind of the only real question mark as far as the lineup goes, they started George Fant, not Charlie Heck, at right tackle. Didn't know how that was going to go. Seems like they made the right decision with Fant, although Fant would get 1 rep at left tackle, which we'll get into in just a sec. But right off the top, Cleveland received the opening kick. They were unable to do anything with it. You could kind of get a sense that the Texans defense, that swarm that DeMeco Ryans talks about, that Texans defense was all about that. The play that kind of turned it around, because early on, Ford had 11 yards, but you had Denzel Perriman with the TFL for -4. Next play, a swarm to the rock, and then you force the punt. By the way, Cleveland's punter kind of sucks. I'm not very familiar with his work, but he kind of sucked. I don't know if that's a normal thing or not. I'll be honest. I cover this squad. I cover it as much as possible. I didn't know their punter sucked that bad, especially indoors. But he was pretty awful. Very next drive, the Texans' first drive, right off the top, just like last week, it wasn't a touchdown on the first play for 70 plus, but Nico Collins, 21 yards on the right sidelines. He gets free. Then you had Dalton Schultz with a drop. It was a big drop, at least as far as that drive goes. It didn't end up being that huge, but he had the drop. And this is on the aftermath. I don't know if y'all remember this, but the last time Dalton Schultz was on the field in a playoff game, it was a disaster. Against San Francisco. He had a costly drop as Dallas was trying to drive late. And then he ran out of bounds, I think a yard short of the first down. And he starts it off with a drop. Then you had Myles Garrett jump off sides on 3rd and 8. And then an incomplete pass across the middle to Noah Brown, who ended up actually leaving the game. He hurt his shoulder. Noah Brown's beat to crap. He's got a hurt back. He's got a hurt shoulder. I think everything's hurt on Noah Brown. Would not shock me to see Noah Brown on IR, or maybe they'll just put him on ice and cross their fingers and hope they can get to AFC Championship game or Super Bowl. Guy who got the crowd fired up. Kind of a little bit surprising, but if you were there, and I'm sure a lot of you said this, number 17, Chris Boyd. Formerly of the Texas Longhorns. Chris Boyd, number 17 now for the Texans on special teams. The dude has that juice, man. And he put a lick on the Browns punt returner, was pumping up the squad. And Chris Boyd, there were people in the press box. Who's 17? Who's 17? Who's 17? He's been in and out, inactive, not active. But Chris Boyd has that juice on special teams. He's the guy that's lined up to the far left now of Cam Johnston. And he seems to take a lot of pride in that special teams. Might be able to find maybe a long-term-ish role for him. Cleveland's second drive, they didn't do a damn thing. That crappy punter, he punted it near midfield, and it gave the Texans really good field position. Texans find themselves in 3rd and long-ish, 3rd and 6. However, CJ Stroud finds Nico Collins for 38 yards inside the 4-yard line. They get inside the 4. You had a weird-ass, awkward shovel pass that went off the D lineman's leg. And then you had 2 more plays that didn't go anywhere, so the Texans have to settle for 3. And Cleveland immediately responded there. Cleveland early on, couple times they responded. Now they disappeared after that, but they did respond. And on first down of their drive, David Njoku, he got behind Steven Nelson for 45 yards. They then found Njoku for 8, Cooper for 4, and Cleveland caps off that drive and responds quickly to the Texans. And takes a 7-3 lead. And at that point, you're wondering, are they going to be able to handle Njoku? It wouldn't be the first time that we saw a tight end make a play early on, but it would be a thing that would disappear quickly. Next Texans drive, the Texans respond quickly. And this is what I describe as Bobby Slowick going in the bag. And these are the kind of drives where a lot of times it's CJ Stroud making plays, but this was a Bobby Slowick drive. First play of the drive, pitch to the right to Devin Singletary, 29 yards near midfield. John Mechie on the right side. By the way, best game of John Mechie's career. Salute to him. 44 yards on 3 catches. John Mechie catches it on the sidelines, little bit of footwork. And then you get in the red zone, and we all remember how the drive started. It was the pitch to the right. This time you have the fake pitch to the right. Boom, touchdown pass. Nico Collins. Texans take a 10-7 lead. However, the Cleveland Browns respond once again, and this would be the last time that we saw Cleveland score in this ball game. How about that? If I would have told you that the Browns were going to finish with 14 points after this next drive, you probably would have called me crazy. First play of that drive, 47-yard completion to the other tight end, not Njoku, the other tight end. I'm not even going to take time to the guy who's faster than he looks. Apparently, Browns drive down. Kareem Hunt gets a 12-yard TD reception, so 2 touchdowns for Kareem Hunt early on. If you had him scoring 2 touchdowns, cash that ticket. Congratulations to you. And Cleveland takes the 14-10 lead, and they ended up responding. However, the Texans, this was where the game turned around right here. This was the play of the game. 100% the play of the game. Brevin Jordan, touchdown, over 70 yards, 76-yard touchdown for Brevin Jordan. That makes it 17-14, and the Texans never really looked back. Now, there was a scary moment there. Let's hear from Brevin Jordan in a second. I want to tell y'all something hilarious that happened. Y'all are going to laugh your ass off at this. So Laramie Tunsil on the extra point, he ended up hurting his knee. Scary moment, but he ended up being okay. Tunsil left the game on the previous extra point. The one play where Tunsil wasn't out there was where they had Fant at left tackle and Heck on the right. Tunsil came back in, so he only missed that snap. We'll get back into what went down, but first let's hear from Brevin Jordan. And I want to tell y'all something hilarious. So we're gonna Christian Harris and Brevin Jordan. They both made huge plays in this game, and they were both selected for random drug tests after the game. I'm not making this up. They were both selected for random drug tests after the game. Both Christian Harris and Brevin Jordan, which is the same thing that happened to CeeDee Lamb after he had his 200-yard game against after he had his 200-yard game against the who was it against? The Lions. He had his random drug test, but Brevin Jordan and Christian Harris both got that. I talked to Brevin Jordan after the game. Here's a little piece of what Brevin Jordan had to say after the Texans got the dub. Here's Brevin Jordan, and I asked him about the drug test, which was sitting right there on his locker. This guy was wired up, by the way.
How do you spend the next 2 days? Because usually when we talk to you after the game, you're like, I want to play again now.
I want to play right now.
Yeah, how do you relax? Because you're not going to know who you're going to play till Monday. What does Brevin Jordan do?
I'm about to go home, eat some food. My girlfriend probably making something good for me and watch the games. I'm about to just chill, man, watch this film, but I'm about to just kick it, man. But like you said, I'm ready to go play right now. I'm so juiced up right now.
Were you worried about getting scooted down?
Yes. That's why I started. I feel like I got my knees up so much faster. Nah, stepping out wasn't a problem. I was afraid somebody was going to catch me because I felt somebody on my hip, bro, and I just got my knees up. That's all it was.
I don't want to get too much of the business, but you made a good play. I think you got the random drug test selection.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. A good sign, right?
It has to be a good sign. It has to be a good sign.
No doubt. Appreciate it.
There you go. That's Brevin Jordan. We'll hear from Blake Cashman a little later on as well. On the comments, appreciate everyone for coming through. On the comments, someone says it's funny, we all thought Brevin Jordan was going to get cut. He thought he was going to get cut. He told me himself he thought he was going to get cut. He was a little bit worried about it. So I don't know if that's like an I gotcha, but the man himself thought he was going to get cut. And he didn't end up doing that. So yeah, it's not he felt the exact same way. Next Cleveland drive, we'd already seen him respond to the Texans twice. I kind of thought the Texans got a little bit of a break here. It didn't end up mattering too much, but they got away with pass interference on Njoku. They were early there on that. But then the Barnett sack on Flacco, and the Texans end up getting the rock back with the 17-14 lead. Chance to extend the lead. CJ Stroud misses it. And I thought maybe this would be something we circle back to, but Nico Collins looks like he kind of stumbled or kind of slowed up once he got past the safety. CJ Stroud overshoots him by just this much, and the Texans miss a touchdown. Nico misses another long TD. Quite frankly, I don't know if Nico will admit it or not. I know that he met with the media for a long-ass time after the game. I don't think he thought that CJ could throw it that far. Like, CJ really did not even have his feet set. He'd actually avoided somebody. I don't know how many quarterbacks don't, like, at least somewhat underthrow it to where it's right there. But CJ threw that pass as if he never had any pressure or anything like that. Just uncanny arm strength that he was even able to do that. And it ended up not really being that big of a deal on the overshoot. Next Cleveland drive, after the Texans punt, the Browns didn't do anything, and Njoku was about 1.5 yards short. The Browns had no desire to be aggressive in this game. It actually felt like they almost quit at the end of the second quarter and had no confidence in their offense. But on the next drive, Mechie for 9, Singletary for 6, Nico for another 16. The Browns, perhaps a pass interference they should have gotten. They didn't get it. The Texans get it with Dalton Schultz. He draws the pass interference. And then CJ Stroud, after Schultz had dropped one pass, he finds him for a 37-yard touchdown to make it 24-14. Almost looked like Schultz kind of bobbled it a little bit. But he caught the touchdown, and the Texans took the 24-14 lead. At this point, I don't know if y'all were thinking this. Let me know if you were thinking this in the comments. At this point, I'm kind of hoping or wondering, are the Texans are they going to be able to keep Cleveland from getting a field goal? Because last week against the Colts, I think it was 14-6 at half. Colts were able to steal 3 points at the end of the first half. They were able to keep it within one possession. Cleveland, you'd think that they would feel confident that maybe they would have a chance to do that. I mean, at this point, up to this point, they'd moved the ball decently. They'd responded twice. They had one timeout. But Cleveland, they get near midfield. And after the Anderson sack, they just decided to take it to the house. I don't know how they watched that game and felt like they were going to I don't know if they just thought they were going to shut the Texans out in the second half or what, but for whatever reason, they needed 25 yards maybe to get a field goal attempt. Cleveland just decided to take it to the house. They take it to the house. The teams run off the field. As the teams run off the field, Paul Wall, Slim Thug, Mike Jones, Bumby, they come on the field, and it was basically just a party. It felt like there was a lot of confidence in that building, and people believed that the Texans were going to get the dub. And after that, it was basically just all Texans. Texans punt on their first drive, and then Cleveland gets the ball. We talked about Joe Flacco and his tendencies, even when he's at his best, to turn the ball over. Well, he turns it over. Steven Nelson gets the pick six, and this was right after Cleveland had converted a 2nd and 16. And at that point, after the 2nd and 16, right down the seam, you're thinking, okay, are they going to make this a game? Steven Nelson, though, gets the pick six. Some really good blocking by his teammates to get him in the end zone. And I want to give Steven Nelson some props too. There was a lot of silliness in the offseason. And Nick Caserio did not let his ego get in the way. Steven Nelson made fun of him for the vest. Nick Caserio did not let his ego get in the way. Steven Nelson did not let his pride get in the way. He was the best cornerback, arguably, in camp. While Stingley was hurt, Steven Nelson, he held it down. and Steven Nelson did his thing, holding it down. He's been hurt all year. He's found a way to get on the field, and he's shown a lot of guts. And the best way I can put this is it was nice to see Steven Nelson's guts get rewarded with some glory. And he gets in the end zone, 31-14 Texans. And then this is where the beatdown begins. Christian Harris, who's been all over the place. It's just Christian Harris's 5th year playing linebacker. Christian Harris, pick 6, makes it 38-14. The Texans then tweet out, and John Lopez is basically thinking he's the crap. They tweet out the Harris County thing, which I just roll my eyes. I'm never going to do this. Lopez acts like he's like so smart for this. This is blatantly obvious. Like if there were a player last name Astro and he made a play, wouldn't you say you're in Astro World or something like that? Like Harris County, come on, Lopez. There's been a lot of people saying this, but he did say Rivas Island, Harris County one time when we were on the air. So the Texans, they score there 38-18, and then they just get kind of mean. Singletary scores a touchdown, and the Texans take it home 45-14. We'll hear from DeMeco in a sec. We'll also give the biggest takeaways. We'll get to some of your comments. But just overall, the difference that CJ made, I think it was kind of just understated. And the Texans ended up beating them down. It wasn't even really a close game, never in doubt. And CJ's stats are good, but they're kind of misleading because I think he probably could have thrown for 400 yards easily, maybe even more. That number 1 Browns defense did not look like a number 1 Browns defense. We'll hear from DeMeco. We'll hear from CJ in a sec. I started this off, though, with an apology to CJ for underestimating the difference he was going to make in this game. I actually want to do this, too. I want to thank the old Oilers / Tennessee Titans. My God. Let's just think about this for a second, okay? If the Tennessee Titans had not beaten the Jags last week, then the Texans would be at the mercy of the blizzard in Buffalo. Because that win allowed the Steelers the opportunity to get in. The Steelers are the lower seed. They had to go. The Texans got to host this game. If Tennessee does not beat Jacksonville, we're sitting here thinking that we're going to play tomorrow at noon, and then we're having to sit there and play 3:30 on Monday. You talk about like luck. You talk about things that you can't control going your way. That hasn't been the consistent thing around here. But could you imagine that? If you're sitting here and you're saying, man, I'm getting fired up for the game at noon. We're going to Buffalo. All right, let's get ready, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden you wake up this morning and you got to play 3:30 on Monday in a damn monsoon. Thank you, Tennessee. Amy Adams Stank, your boys did their thing. Thank you, Tennessee. My goodness. Thank you, Tennessee. Let's hear from DeMeco Ryans, and then I'm going to bring in Cody Stutes of Houston football, and then we'll hear from CJ Stroud. We'll hear from some of you, but let's hear from the man, DeMeco Ryans, meeting with the media types right here in the Locker Room postgame show, exclusively on YouTube.
No, I didn't. Just thankful again for just gracious, man. We're blessed. Our team is special. God has blessed us tremendously, and we're giving him all the glory, honor, and praise for where we are, what this team has done. I mean, for CJ to go to have the game that he had, unbelievable performance by a rookie. It was just outstanding by everybody. So proud of our guys in the locker room. I knew they were ready on Tuesday. They were focused. They were locked in, and they went out and put the work in. Cleveland's a really good team. We had a tough matchup, and our guys fought, made plays we needed to make to win the game, and really just thankful, grateful for everybody in the locker room, and what an outstanding performance by our guys.
Man, you ever seen back-to-back pick sixes, I think?
Never seen back-to-back pick sixes like that. We needed our defense to step up. We know Joe had a big day against us a couple weeks ago, and we knew it was a challenge in the passing game. And, for Nelly to make the pick that he made and also C. Harris, those are big-time plays. So one of our focuses coming into the game was to attack the football. But to attack it and go score, that changes the game for us.
Hey, Coach, you guys were down 17-14 when Stroud connected with Brandon Jordan for that 76-yard touchdown. One, can you talk about how much that play set the tone for you guys moving forward and what it was like to see Brandon Jordan make that play?
It was special. Brevin has been special all year. But to see the catch and the run after catch, man, he turned the wheels on. He turned them on and he took off. And I think everybody was running right down the sideline with him. And Brevin has done an awesome job, and no play bigger, in his career than that play today.
You got a 10 and a half. What was kind of said in the locker room, so in a way that you guys could basically enter the third quarter and kind of blow the game out of reach?
The thing that was said in the locker room was, we're here. We talk about our moment. We talk about opportunity. Now, the biggest thing is, what do you do with it? Right? And it was all about just going out and just finishing, continuing to execute, continuing to finish. And that's what we did. We knew in the playoffs, games flip at halftime. So if guys stayed locked in and stayed focused, and that's what we did. That's what I love about our team. Everybody was focused. Everybody was calm. We executed the proper way.
Coach, can you just talk about the play of Christian Harris today? Throughout the week, he was saying that he was focused coming into this game and he wanted to make an impact, and I think that he did that today.
Yeah, Christian's been locked in all week. Christian, it's a special moment for me because just seeing Christian and seeing his growth week after week after week, and to see him make that play. I talked about that this week, actually. Right, we talked about that play where he missed it a couple games ago. He just broke it up on fourth down, and he had an opportunity to step in front and pick it this time, and he did it. Just such another cool moment for a lot of guys, young players, Brevin, Christian, for them to have the type of games they're having in the playoffs now, be plays that they'll remember for the rest of their life. CJ is the reason why we're in this position. He's special young man.
Wow.
Special player.
Like you got
continues to shine no matter how big the moment is.
Damn.
Like our whole team is leaning on him, and he has the shoulders to carry that weight, and he shows up week after week. He continues to improve week after week. No moment is too big for him. And when you have a young player who can shoulder the load of your team, and the way the team is behind him, the confidence that he gives our entire team, it's so cool to watch, right? Because he's such a special player, and he has a special season, and we're looking forward to keep moving on.
We'll take a few more.
Yeah, DeMeco, 35 unanswered points, but you often talk about that things start up front. Can you just talk about the job that LT did today with Myles Garrett?
You can't say enough about LT and his performance versus arguably the top defensive player in the NFL right now. And he's done it time and time again. He's done it. He's had that matchup. He looked forward to that matchup, and he stands up time and time again. He pushed through there, struggling, fighting through injury, and still battled. And when you have a left tackle who can do that, that allows CJ to shine. That allows us to get the ball off. Right, it all starts with protection, and it starts with LT doing a tremendous job today versus Myles.
Coach, in the second half, your defense goes pick six, turnover on downs, game over. What can you say about your defense? And then also Stanley, shadow of Amari quite a bit, which kind of went into that.
When we needed it most, our defense had their best performance of the year. In the biggest game of the year, they stepped up, had an outstanding performance, and were the reason why we won this game, why we were able to finish in the second half. Stingley, did an unbelievable job on Cooper. I think we limited him to, 4 catches. So it was an outstanding job by Sting. He was up for the challenge, up for the matchup. And that's what playoff football is about. It's about your playmakers stepping up, making plays. And that's what Stingley did all day today.
DeMeco, 4 sacks on the end, Joe Flacco, 1 coming from Will Anderson, who still has been dealing with the ankle problems and working his way back. Just his fight and grit to be able to act like a veteran this early in his tenure.
Yeah, Will's been tremendous. All of our young guys. I think
Question?
nobody hasn't said it. We should have the offensive and defense rookie of the year. Both guys stepped up big time for us with CJ with the offense and Will on defense. Play after play. We know he's battling an injury, but he's one of the toughest guys I've ever been around. You have to drag him off the field. He's not coming off. He continues to fight, was able to be productive and get sacks, and that's what we needed from our defensive line today. Multiple guys showed up and were able to get pressure, and that allowed us, to play better in the back end to force the ball to come out quicker.
Hey, DeMeco, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
To win the way you did, how much confidence can that instill into the team to not just
Damn, he needs a rest.
ultimately you can reach the goals of the season?
1 week at a time. Our team is confident. We were confident coming in. You have to be confident in these moments, right? We're not shying away from that. We're a confident team. We believe in each other. We know we have a special group of men in the locker room, and that's what it's all about. And it's 1 game at a time. Continue to go out. Don't make the moment bigger than what it is. Go out and execute. Play relentless football. We'll be exactly where we want to be.
DeMeco, you guys had a number of big moments for your rotational players, Brandon, Will Davis, Derek Barnett. What do you guys do rather that allows those guys that don't necessarily get all the snaps or regular snaps sometimes to stay locked in and be ready for whatever moment?
Next man up.
And we talk about it all the time, no matter who you are, right? When you step out on the field, who knows the opportunity that you'll get, right? But just maximize your opportunity and be ready for that moment. And all of our guys, no matter who you are, rotational player, whoever it may be, everybody has an important role in this team. And you hit the grass, we just ask guys to play as hard as you can, execute, play as fast as you can, and good things will happen. And that's what you continue to see, different guys stepping up, making plays, because we play as a team. It's not about one person. It's about our team, and everybody understands that, and that's what continues to drive us, right, to be in games like this and win games like this, because it's a team-first mindset. All right, thank you, guys.
All right, there you go. That's DeMeco Ryans. Texans get the dub. It was easy. That was easy. I guess that's the difference CJ Stroud makes. Cody Stooch joins me now. I started off the show kind of apologizing. We've watched the guy play all year. We know that there's a little bit of a contagious intangible with CJ Stroud, but I didn't anticipate this being as easy as it was, and it was damn easy. And you got to think CJ Stroud was the biggest reason why. It was a complete effort. I thought Cleveland quit at the end of the second quarter. Honestly, you didn't even really try to take points. They laid down. And then next thing you know, Flacco throws a couple of picks and the game's over.
Just every time they walk into a matchup and the other guy's not on CJ Stroud's level, I'm picking the Texans for the rest of the time. Like that guy better be in CJ Stroud's zip code, or I'm going to feel like the Texans are going to win that football game. Flacco didn't have it today. Couldn't move out of the pocket. The pass rush was solid. It wasn't constant though. He was able to go out there. He moved the ball a little bit, but then you could tell Stefanski was worried. You could tell he was worried there at the end of half that you just mentioned about maybe something going wrong or them giving the ball back to the Texans and the Texans stealing 3 points or something like that. And then, my goodness, CJ Stroud is just what he brings to the table. And I think back, and I thought back all the time to training camp. It was probably the first time we talked to Bobby Slowick at training camp. And he said, every coach that's a great offensive coach that I've talked to talks about quarterbacks have to be able to manage messy pockets. And CJ Stroud had the pocket today where there was guys at his feet. It was closing in. He had to step up. He had to move a little bit to the right, move a little bit to the left. The management within these messy pockets today against the Browns is one of the most impressive parts of CJ Stroud, and just the execution. To hear him in the post game, and I know you're going to play it here in a moment, but he talked, somebody asked him about, hey, you passed up John Mechie to take that deep shot to Dalton Schultz. So, what were you thinking? And he's like, well, that's how the play's drawn up. So I ran the play as it was supposed to get run, to go to Dalton. And just the vision to see that, I feel like there was really only even a handful of throws that you could say were even close to bad throws. I didn't love the throw to Noah over the middle. It just feels like he didn't even see the safety there, but that was early on. He got in a groove. He got in a rhythm. Him and Bobby Slowick were in simpatico throughout the whole thing. They just rocked the Browns. From all the and you talked about this way early on in training camp, and it's a really small thing, but I'd love to know from a defensive perspective how jarring it is. CJ sells those fakes, misdirections, and all that stuff.
Watson, it's the opposite of what Watson used to do. Watson half-assed that.
That play to Nico, that was the swing pass where Nico took it up the sideline for the touchdown. I thought he threw the damn toss into the first row. He sold it so hard.
I think you should ask him a selling the fake question this week.
Okay, Wednesday. I think it'll be Wednesday. We'll
I think you should ask him a selling the fake question, and I also want you to ask him what it was like walking in last week. Say we didn't ask you it last week, but what was it like walking into the stadium Tuesday after Michigan won the championship?
Okay, maybe that was a little old.
Come on, man.
We'll get you the selling the fake. We can't get you that one.
Oh, come on, man. Get in there. Get your ass in there. What's up?
How low down the list of dominate the Browns did you feel like was a potential outcome?
I said that no outcome would surprise me, either way. But look, the Amari Cooper thing, I thought that was obviously a little bit of a fluke, the 265. But that kind of a beatdown, I didn't really anticipate it. I did think that they were going to have chances to intercept Flacco. By the way, Jalen Petrie should have had one, man. He should have had his first interception of the year. That one right there. I don't know that you can just put it on a tee easy. I would have been happy for him to
plus 700 right down the tube.
Oh, it was plus 700 for an interception.
Yeah.
Oh God, man, he should have had that. Smalls from Sandlot would have caught that, but I digress. But yeah, I think it was. I didn't anticipate that much of a beatdown. I do want to say this real quick. You remember when LeVar Ball had his clothing line, the Triple Bs?
Yeah, Big Baller brand.
Well, no. Apparently that brand's dead, and he's taken the Triple Bs out of the attic, and it now stands for something else. Bye, Bobby.
Oh boy.
I think Bobby Slowick might have earned him a gig, because I was in the press box and I was looking up at about halftime, and I was talking to Ron Hughley about this. Well, he was getting more camera time than Taylor Swift. It was Field Slowick, Field Slowick, Field Slowick, Field Slowick, and I don't even know what they were saying. I haven't watched the game yet. I'm gonna watch it probably tomorrow morning because I don't have to watch a freaking Steelers game or Bills. So I'll probably just peep that scene. But yeah, it's going to be hard for me to imagine, unless he just wants to be extra selective. It's hard for me to imagine that Bobby Slowick isn't going to get some sort of gig.
Man, I do know I saw this comment come across the timeline at one point that 26-year-old Noah Eagle said he's a fine young man about Bobby Slowick.
Well, Noah's beyond his years.
He's a fine young man.
Noah's beyond his years.
Here's what I'm impressed about with this, and maybe an element of it is the fact that a handful of teams want to talk to him about being a head coach, and now everybody's going to want to talk to him about being a head coach, is in a week that could have been filled with distractions, in a week that could have been filled with
you knew he wasn't distracted at that press conference.
Sure,
a lot of these people in here watched it with me. He knew, and you know what? He knew something. Like we said that dude sees something in this squad, because they could have easily, like, let's say Cleveland scores, CJ could have thrown for 450 against this raggedy ass defense. This defense that we hear is like one of the top defenses. That defense was getting lit up. by CJ Stroud, and Bobby Slowick saw something.
He was as dialed in and as in sync with the quarterback as we've seen at any portion this season. And another huge thing about Slowick in this thing, I felt like he got too cute on that first red zone, and then there wasn't any cute crap after that. It was, hey, what we do works. Boom. I think CJ mentioned after the game what Bobby knew was working. He kept calling it. We kept running it. I think CJ's catchphrase is he calls, we ball. And sure enough, that's what it was, man. That's what it was. And I got to imagine that as you watch a rookie quarterback do all of this, the guy that's in his ear got more and more and more attractive to these potential to these head coach openings as that game went on.
Someone says, and there was a comment about Slowick. Which is it, Slowick making CJ or CJ making Slowick? I think it's both. I think there's been a rotation. I mean, at the end of the day, CJ is the straw that stirs the drink. And there's been times where CJ's gone off script, but today I heard I was riding down the elevator. I heard Peter King talking, and he was like,
Peter King,
there was no one within 4 yards of these receivers today. They were schemed open. So, I mean, I don't think it has to be one or the other. The bottom line is that Shanahan pipeline, those guys just, they're smart. They know what they're doing. They get the right education. They get the right foundation. But yeah, I mean, obviously you would rather lose Slowick than CJ, but I don't think it has to be one or the other. I think today they were both just in the bag.
And look, I like Bobby Slowick. I really enjoy listening to his press conferences. I feel like he's very thoughtful and open, and he gives you more than a lot of play callers in football do at the podium and behind the microphone. Bobby Slowick was, yes, he was a part of the Shanahan tree, but DeMeco Ryans plucked him out of obscurity to most people, and now he's the offensive coordinator. Like, I trust DeMeco to be able to hire the next guy too if Slowick leaves. I mean, unless this thing goes 3 more games and then he's gone.
Oh wow, yeah.
But in Slowick, he said last week 4 more games.
See 3 more now. It's 3 now.
It's 3 now. You know, I still very much believe he would love to just really dial it in again for a whole nother year.
Yeah.
And just be the candidate, be the unquestioned knockdown, drag out the candidate a year from now. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I wouldn't fault him for leaving now. I would love for him to come back. And really, I'm so excited.
It's a problem to have.
I'm so excited if he gets a shot at Kansas City, if he gets a shot at Buffalo, or he gets another shot at Baltimore. I'm excited to see what he can put together.
Hey, here's the thing. And this is, I'm not trying to get too crazy, but outside of Jacksonville, he got the second crack at Indy, got the dub. And he got the second crack at Cleveland, got the dub. So yeah, maybe if he gets that another shot, it'll be interesting to see what Bobby does.
And think about how tough that first crack at Jacksonville was, coming off back-to-back losses.
Yeah.
Like I mean, he's performed in some pressure-packed moments, and I'm excited. It doesn't look like it's going to be Miami, but I'm excited to see what he does against either the Chiefs, the Bills, or the Ravens. Or I guess
with the W, the Texans' first-round pick will officially be a better one than the one they traded. So they decided to trade Cleveland's. They tried to trade their own pick, and they kept Cleveland's. The trade aside, that decision ended up being validated. Caserio effed my hand up after, though. It still really hurts.
He gave you a big dap.
Yeah, he had his hand out, and I was like, all right, I might as well stick it out. And then he just boom punched like knuckle to knuckle. There's been times where like Caserio will dap you up and he slaps you on the back, and it's almost like a woo, like a Ric Flair chop. But yeah, my hand definitely hurts. Did you see this? I caught this observation. I asked Brevin Jordan about it. I think you were in the locker room at the time. I don't know if you were in that scrum. Brevin Jordan and Christian Harris selected for random drug tests after the game.
And Jerry Hughes, too, who didn't even play.
Jerry Hughes too. Maybe they're thinking more like rehab. I asked Harris about it. He kind of thought it was funny. But yeah, Brevin Jordan thought it was a little bit funny too. But hey, that's when you know you're making plays.
Of like, there's so many different personalities, and I don't pretend to know any of these guys. I interact with them for 4 to 7 minutes at a time. I don't go in the locker room to go be their friends. We're very cordial, professional when I go in there. But to just think about what Brevin Jordan went through initially when he gets to the National Football
I mean,
League.
you think Casario was trying to like get even with me for my past criticisms of his
Maybe.
that's
Maybe.
okay. It's all
Maybe.
good, bro. It's all
But
good, bro.
but to think about where Brevin Jordan's been, the damn near not making this team.
He thought
in
he was
training
gonna
camp.
he thought there was a chance he was gonna get cut. He told me himself. Yes, there was
He was hurt for a lot of training camp.
Yeah, he got hurt during a make or break camp.
I mean, you know, an established veteran comes in, offers you money for your number, you say no, and you know he's kind of just he's clawed for every little bit that he's got all year long, and then to have that play, that's a really cool moment for Brevin Jordan, the person. And I loved when he was asked about it after the game, like, oh, you know, after all you've been through, what do you think about it? He's like, yeah, I haven't really thought about that, and I wasn't thinking about it in that moment. I'm ready to go. Like, I'm ready to keep
I'm
going.
ready to play tomorrow.
I'm ready to play tomorrow.
I'm ready to play tomorrow. Right there. But yeah, the drug test thing is
that's hilarious.
It's a normal thing. Let's hear from the QB. We heard from the coach. He said that this is the reason that they are where they are. Let's hear from quarterback CJ Stroud. Not there the first time. He's there this time. Let me do some quick math real quick. So what do we got? 45-14. So that's 31. You lost by 14. That's a 45-point swing. My unofficial mathematics. CJ Stroud on the field. Here is CJ Stroud.
It's a blessing, man. I can, like I always do, man, and more than ever, just thank God. Thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, man. It's been a blessing. It's been a heck of a year, and I thank God I can just go another week with my teammates. Like, this is like a dream come true as of how close we are as a team. Like, we're really, really close. Offense, defense, special teams, like, we're all men well together, and just have another week to go at it with my brothers. It's a blessing, you know. So I'm super excited for this team and the city of Houston, and I'm just blessed to be in the position I am.
Michael Vick is the youngest quarterback to ever win an NFL playoff game. What does something like that mean to you?
It's cool, man. It's really cool. I mean, I put a lot of hard work in. My teammates do, and it's cool to see the fruits of your labor come to be true. So I'm super blessed to be considered with a great name like Michael Vick, who was my favorite quarterback growing up. So I'm super blessed, and hopefully I can make it too.
Well, CJ, as you mentioned, you always talk about your faith, the Christian faith in Jesus Christ and God, and DeMeco talked about his faith and how blessed he was today and how blessed his team was. You've got to feel like God has a ton to do with where this team is too, don't you?
Yes, sir. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have a lot of God-fearing brothers on the team and God-fearing sisters on the staff. So I think definitely God is at the forefront of our minds, and we play for an audience of one. Even when everything's going crazy, you can lock in and just have peace, you know. So I'm blessed enough to even have a leader like DeMeco who's open with his faith. You know, it's hard. Like, people hold you to a standard, and that's what we want as Christians. You know, we're holding our own crosses, and we're trying to be like Christ as much as possible. We make mistakes. We're not perfect, you know, but at the same time, we know that with God, we can do all things through Christ that strengthens us. So just really blessed to be part of just a great group of God-fearing men. Yeah. Really, the same thing I've always, like, since week one. I mean, I've gotten a pretty good routine on what I like to do pregame, and we got a little extra time off this morning to come into the stadium because we didn't play till 3:30. So I was just really just relaxing, just watching a movie, you know, just chilling, going over my plays and going over some film, just really just crossing every T, dotting every I, just like I always do. So it was a really good ramp up. The crowd was already like, this is the first time I seen our stadium kind of full pregame. You know, of course we were rocking like the whole, like, it was loud. It was probably the loudest I've heard a stadium in my life. But like pregame is not a lot of people all the time, you know, regular season, because we played so early. So now to like finally like an afternoon game to see like the crowd, that helps us a lot, like get the energy going. So we appreciate everybody coming out, but yeah, it was cool.
Two-part question. Think about the sync that you and Bobby had today. We had all year, but it seemed like he was really, really in tune with you in that follow-up.
Yeah, Bobby did a great job today, like he always does. I mean, his job, of course, is to call the plays, and he call it, we ball it, you know. So he knew
we call.
he knew to mix it up a little bit. We wanted to throw the ball early, just to set the tone that we were going to not shy away from anything. And LT did a great job against Miles and that front. Our whole line did a great job. And I think when you have OC that's going to be aggressive and take care of the football, really that's a recipe for success, So we're a very explosive team. We showed we can run the ball today too, which is great. And I think this is the best that we've played so far. Yeah, we played 4-quarter football this week, and that's what you want to do towards the back end. So Bobby did a great job. Our O-line, our tight ends, running backs, our receivers, our defense, scoring points. We talk about that all the time. So it's really cool to see it come to fruition.
DeMeco, a lot of you guys have said you didn't go this far to go this far. You have more football in front of you. What's that feeling like to know that you stacked this accomplishment and won a whole playoff game and blew out a team that was the top-ranked defense?
It's cool, man. It shows you that whatever you put your mind to, you can accomplish, man. DeMeco's led this team with great confidence, and that confidence rubbed off on everybody. And we're all holding each other to a certain standard. And like I said before, I'm really excited to be with my brothers again for another week, because who knows, next year it's not going to be the same team. So that's just kind of how the league goes. But we got another week to go prove ourselves right and try to win a game.
Hey, CJ, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Do you think you and this team are still improving?
You can always say there's things to work on, and we're going to look back and look at plays that we want back, of course. But that's kind of just how football goes, So we're playing our best ball as of right now these last 3 weeks, really. So that's really what you want.
Sorry. CJ, throughout this season, your mantra, yours and your teammates' mantra has been, why not us? Do you think that you proved that today?
Yeah, for sure. I think everybody counting us out. And at the end of the day, like I told y'all before, people can talk. That's all they can do. They can just talk and watch. We're the ones out there to play. We're the ones making plays, and it's cool just to see. Just like we at Ohio State, we used to call it Woody versus the world. Here I think we used to call it NRG versus the world. Or Houston versus the world. So it's cool just to be able to be playing at a high level right now, and it's not about what people say. In the playoffs, it's 0-0. Everybody's at a clean slate, and if that's the number one defense, man, they are really the number one defense. They're really good. They have a great pass rush, linebackers flying around. The DBs are really good, and I just think they show what we are too.
You got time for a few more.
Hey, CJ, those of us who come to you all year, I don't really think of you as a rookie anymore, but new people that come in always ask the question, what's he like as a rookie? And your teammates keep saying, he's not like a rookie. He carries himself so differently. How does that make you feel? And what is it? What is it that you do? You think that makes him say, "You guys don't understand"? He just kind of moves differently.
I don't know. I feel like this is how I am as a person. I've been this way since I think I've been a child. My family's back there. They know. I've always been the youngest in my family. Always been the one, kind of the one kind of getting picked on or whatever, but that made me tough, and I thank God for my family, and honestly, what I've been through in my life has prepared me for being in the locker room full of men, and being a man amongst men, so I've been blessed enough to even have that reaction from my teammates, because I'm honestly just being myself. There's nothing, I haven't come in and try to do anything new or be extra, try to hold people to a certain standard. I'm not holding myself to it. I think I've been doing this since I've been young. So it's cool just to be working in what God has called into your life. I honestly feel like this is my purpose, not my passion, So also it's connected to my passion, which is football. But I think my purpose is really to spread his word and be just a light in this world, So I'm blessed enough to do that every day.
CJ, 0 sacks allowed today. Miles Garrett is only allowed to get one pressure because of Larry Tunsil was blocking him up front. Can you just talk about the impact that he's had in your career and also what he means to this team in general?
Yeah, I think Laramie's definitely a top player in his league, top 5, top 3, top 2, not 2. Laramie's a dog, man. He's was the first person to contact me really after I got drafted, and he I don't know what he's seen, but he's seen something special in me. He always let me know that instilled a lot of confidence in me, because he's a Pro Bowler every year. You see him going against some of the top defensive ends and holding it down. So I'm super appreciative of him. He's a brother that I can ask him for anything, and he's always there for me, and I'm always there for him. So he did a great job tonight. Our O-line did a great job as well. Mike taking the point, Shaq, George, Juice, of course, LT and our tight ends doing a great job, and our back. So we knew that was a key to victory that we needed to block well up front, and we did that. So.
Just real quick, what movie did you watch this morning?
What did I watch? I don't remember. I know I watched Fast Five last night.
Ah, come on,
I
man.
just put it in like background.
Yeah.
On the long touchdown pass to Dalton, it seemed like when you were rolling into the right, Messi was like wide open right in front of you. What gave you the patience or the wherewithal to sort of let that play develop and find Dalton for the bigger?
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows I play quarterback now, so we got the best quarterback players on Twitter and Instagram. So I mean, I really wasn't what the play was the designed for. wasn't supposed to go to Messi. It was really supposed to go to Dalton. And I mean, I just had to be patient, and just let Dalton work. And my Beck really was the reason why that play was even executed, because Beck had the hardest block and he held it down, and gave me enough time to do my job. And yeah, it was a cool play, man. Like I'm really happy for Dalton, really happy for Beck, and I think even like Metch, he showed a big time today. He showed what he can do.
Good.
And I mean, he's going to be a great receiver for me for a long, long time. And I can't wait to keep working with my guys. And the starters just began, so we just want to keep going. Thank you.
This is clearly probably the highest point of your season. What was the lowest point or the
What was the lowest point of your season?
That was asked.
I don't know. I don't really have that type of mindset to where I think about the lows anymore. I mean, of course, losing isn't fun, and but I feel like every loss that I've taken this year in this league, I can look back and know that I learned a lot from that. I'm still really young. I'm I know you guys don't consider me a rookie, but I'm still learning a lot, and I'm learning on the fly. And I'm blessed enough to be with a group of guys that hold me to a standard. I hold myself to an even higher standard. And I think the way we come in and work, that we really honestly forget about all the bad things. And, of course, want to get the problems fixed. But I couldn't point one out, man. I just think everything that all the losses and all the things that I've learned is really just teaching moments, So I'm blessed enough to even have those teaching moments and still be able to be playing right now. And, yeah. All right, y'all. God bless.
Oh, there you go. That's CJ Stroud right here. Lowest moment, man. Come on, man. He's good. He's good. He doesn't have any low moments right now. That was CJ Stroud at the podium.
Before you say anything or anybody in the chat says something, they passed the microphones around. I didn't get to ask a question. So it wasn't me asking those donkey questions.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, all good, man. All good. It was a good dub for sure. Right now, I'm gonna ask you this: what do you want to see now? What's your dream scenario? It's immediate reaction right now. You have Kansas City and Miami. Kansas City's in decent control of this ball game. They're up 19 to 7. Kind of danger zone for Miami. They got to keep them out of the end zone to have some sort of chance. I think you need Miami or Pittsburgh to win to avoid Baltimore. That would be my ideal scenario. If both Miami and Pittsburgh find a way to win, then you're hosting Miami. But Buffalo is obviously a monsoon right now, but I would think the main goal would be avoiding Baltimore, which would happen if either Miami or Pittsburgh win.
Yeah, you need one of these teams to pull an upset in the AFC. And
by the way, if you do play Buffalo, you're going to have the advantage of an extra 2 days of rest.
They will be on short rest compared to their opponent. If you to play Buffalo, you need a whole heck of a lot more than what Miami's putting together right now. So I would tell you, my gut feeling is it's going to be Baltimore, and you just got to hope that you get a rusty Ravens team to start. And I mean, that's a That's a damn good defense. But that's a damn good defense they just took care of tonight. So
The best.
The best from a yards allowed standpoint this season. The one thing about Baltimore, and you've seen this a bunch in the Lamar Jackson era, it doesn't happen all the time, but every now and then, just randomly out of the blue, their offense disappears, and then all of a sudden they play a 10-7 game. And it's like,
okay.
It's like, but I mean, it's looking like you're going to play Baltimore. I got zero faith.
19-7 right now. 19-7 right now. Kansas City, and they just it looks like they just converted a 3rd and 20. Yeah, they got a penalty, roughing the passer. So they had 3rd and 20, and now they're in the red zone. Because Miami picked up a roughing the passer on 3rd and 20. So Kansas City, they get in the end zone. That's a wrap. And then Pittsburgh. If Miami loses, then you got Pittsburgh. If they win, then you go to Buffalo. If they win, then you if Pittsburgh wins and Kansas City wins, then you go to Kansas City.
Yes.
If they lose, then you go to Buffalo. So that's where you would be. Depending on
yes.
what happens.
Yeah. Look, the Dolphins are not going to win this football game. They've barely moved the football at all. So if you want to avoid Baltimore, you got to move for Pittsburgh to take care of business.
Yeah.
Set to be a crisp 33 degrees in Baltimore next week,
which is way better than the alternatives. Let's hear from someone who doesn't give a damn about cold weather. This was Blake Cashman after the game talking about his vibe, mood, all that type of stuff.
It was exciting. You don't often get that chance in the NFL. So to be able to play those guys again, play
the overall feel, playoff atmosphere, all that. How do you feel?
Well, with that win and to go out in that fashion, it was great. It was exciting just to see how engaged and loud the fans were, and it was special for us and it was special for them. It was a great game, a lot of big plays. So you could have asked for or drawn it up any better.
What was it like for you personally, actually getting a crack at them, getting to go out there and face the Browns? Obviously, last time what went down was nice to get out there and get a look at them. We're kind of foaming at the mouth.
Absolutely. To get another opportunity against a really good football team, you don't often get that chance in the NFL. So to be able to play those guys again, play them at home for a playoff game, just with the stakes so high, it was awesome. And to come out and handle business like we did, play great on all 3 phases, was wonderful.
Could you feel the energy in the stadium?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was so loud. I couldn't even think straight. I couldn't even I was yelling, screaming, making adjustments on the field, and I couldn't even hear myself. That's how loud it was. But, that's why we love these games and what makes them so great and exciting. So we appreciate you fans, man. You guys are great.
So what do you do from here? The first game, do you sit back and watch? Do you relax? All the above?
Yeah, we don't know who we play yet, so we're gonna have to
till Monday.
Yeah, so it's with the change of the game, we're at the wait till Monday.
That cold weather. That's
it's wherever we need to play, I'm gonna be ready. But yeah, if we play somewhere in the cold, that'll bring me back to my roots a little bit. But we're gonna watch the games, pay attention to who our next opponent might be. But really just enjoy this victory today, and then get our bodies right and start preparing for next week. Our season just got a week longer.
There you go. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, there you go. That's Blake Cashman on the vibe. He likes that cold weather. He's from Minnesota. I think it sucks, but yeah.
How about Cashman? So loud I couldn't hear myself think when he's making adjustments on defense. CJ Stroud, who played in the Shoe, the Big House, and played in the Peach Bowl against Georgia.
In Happy Valley.
and Happy Valley, that's the loudest stadium he's ever been in. How about
He's
that?
serious. He's serious. Well, they did have to call a timeout with the MVP chance, which not a good look for the crowd if it were close, but hey, it was a beatdown. He had to call the timeout because it was so loud. Let's go to a couple of the comments. We'll talk about the step up dudes, and then we'll go. By the way, Miami is they're going to lose to Kansas City, unless it's just like the biggest comeback in league history. So they're done. So the scenarios are very simple now. If Pittsburgh wins, then you go to Kansas City. If Pittsburgh loses, then you go to Baltimore. So very, very simple. And Miami made it simple by choking away the division and then getting thumped around by the Chiefs. Devin says, I knew we had it when Cleveland had the players only huddle on the sideline. I don't know. Like, at what point did you think that this was a wrap? For me, it was the Steven Nelson pick six. Like, other than that, I thought that because before that there was the 2nd and 16. They hit it right up the seam. They were only down 10 points. I would say the Steven Nelson pick six was when I decided, okay, it's a wrap, because even the way they were playing at the end of the second quarter, they didn't look like an offense that was capable of hurrying up. So if it was a 2-possession game or something like that, then maybe they could be able to hang around. But the Steven Nelson pick six for me was when I knew this is over.
That was the wrap for me as well. And then Christian Harris put a bow on the damn thing right after that. But yeah, it's not just that Nelson took it to the house; it's that he took it a long way to the house. It took a lot of effort from the blockers to take care of him. Which, by the way, I need to go back and watch the play. Jonathan Grenard swears that he got crackbacked on that play, and he said, "I'm not going to say anything while I'm active." He goes, "But when I'm done, the officials are going to hear about how they never call a crackback play on a defensive lineman." And but it's also the pass rush got to Flacco, and he did not have some sort of Flacco magic like he did the first time. It just quack up in the air right to Steven Nelson.
Correct. Space Age says, appreciate the content. Know you're busy. Appreciate it. No, it's not optional. It's this isn't like an optional thing. Ever since I was able to start this at the beginning of last year, this is part of my my responsibility. I don't take it lightly covering this team. I do it on the radio. I do it here. So, it's not one of those things that's optional. You start something, you keep doing it. So there's nothing I would rather do. I knew this was going to get brought up. I got the screenshot of it. Arnaldo, not the only one to ask. Did you catch McClain's slimeball tweet about the Oilers blowing a big lead to Buffalo when the Texans were up in the fourth quarter? I did. It read, if you're confident about the Texans, I got one word for you, Buffalo, which I thought was a little unnecessary by John McClain. A little slimy. I'll talk to him about it at 11 on Tuesday. I thought it was a little bit slimy by McClain.
John McClain can make the end of the world about the Oilers. I mean, his ability. I mean, he tweeted about Bruce Matthews sitting with the McNairs. Like, sorry, man, that's a who cares for me. Let's talk about the game.
Yep, can't believe you brought it up. So we've talked about CJ, we've talked about DeMeco. Let's give a shout out to the step up dudes. Brevin Jordan. That was the game that completely changed things. Texans never trailed after that. It was on the aftermath of Cleveland's second response to the Texans after taking a lead. I thought it was similar-ish to Noah Brown's 75-yard touchdown against Tampa Bay, which kind of gave the Texans a breather when it appeared the opponent had all the momentum. Different situations, obviously. I think they were down 12 in that instance, or I think that I don't remember what they were down, but they were down 2 possessions. So Brevin Jordan, big step up there. Says he's always played running back before he went to Miami, so that was nothing new for him. Christian Harris, 5th year as a linebacker. The Harris County thing is sticking. Texans are using it now. It's obvious. It's on a tee. I don't give Lopez any credit. I think I don't even like whatever. That's like an Astro making a play and you saying welcome to Astro world, but yeah, Christian Harris is a dog.
If the Harris County thing wasn't so easy and so basic, I wish he had like a nickname around like electricity, because that dude is he's always just jazzed up, pumping the crowd up, going nuts. Man.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to the Tennessee game. It seems like that's when his mean streak developed. But, I mean, the guy was an H-back and a DB in high school. He actually went to high school on LSU's campus, ended up going to Alabama. bleeds crimson like a big Alabama guy. And then he goes to Alabama, and Nick Saban says, wow, this guy's athletic. You're going to start at linebacker for me as a true freshman, even though you've never really played it and we're a DB/H-back. This is his 5th year playing linebacker. And I mean, last year was disappointing because he was hurt. This year kind of been up and down, but ever since the Tennessee game, he's just been cranking it up a notch production wise and as far as the overall intensity.
Christian Harris with the pick 6, the sack, Will Anderson with the sack. Mechie was a contributor. They did it for Coach Saban. He did it for Coach Saban.
Hey, Mechie, best game of his career, 3 for 44. You could be right. And then Steven Nelson, I thought the guts got rewarded with some glory. We all know how weird the offseason was at the beginning, but and I don't know how healthy he is right now. But early on, you had Njoku kind of get by him en route to the Browns taking the 7-3 lead. But he gets the pick 6, and it was nice to see him get in the end zone. Derek Barnett, man, God dang, that dude is a player for them. I know that he knew the system. I guess in Philadelphia, he was too mean. Like he was fighting guys in practice or something like that. Like, what does he sound like? Is he country as hell? I know he's from Tennessee. I've never heard him talk.
The only time I've ever seen Derek Barnett is on the practice field or at the game.
He's never in the locker room after the game. Like he's gone. Like he
is a ghost.
He's dipped out every game that's there. He's just dipped out.
He is a ghost, brother. I mean, we've been wanting to talk to Derek Barnett for like 3 weeks, and he's never there.
He's just about that business. And then of course, Mechie, another step up, guys. So Texans advance. Miami is going to fall to the Kansas City Chiefs. They're 26-7 right now, although they're driving quickly. Who knows? Maybe this doesn't happen, which would be great. I'm pronouncing them dead though. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Tomorrow's going to be NFC Day. And then, hey, if you got MLK Day off, congratulations, because you're going to get a nice little double header. So you get 3 straight double headers. You got the 3:30 Steelers versus Bills. Again, if the Steelers win, the Texans go to Kansas City. If the Bills win, the Texans go to Buffalo. So
they go to Baltimore.
Oh yeah. Wait. Say it again.
If the Steelers win, the Texans play the Chiefs.
They go to Kansas City. Yeah.
If the Bills win, the Texans go to Baltimore.
That is correct. Yeah. I'm still talking about Miami. I'm still acting like Miami has a shot. So yeah, there you go. Say it again. Say it again for the people.
If the Steelers win, the Texans travel to face the Chiefs. If the Bills win, the Texans travel to face the Baltimore Ravens.
Yes, there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Appreciate you. Fun times. What do we got going on in the Cody Stoops YouTube channel? Houston football. Subscribe. If you need Houston content, you ain't going to get it from the Chronicle. You ain't going to get it from the Athletic. Houston football is the way to go. Someone born and raised here. He's a Houston lifer. He covers the team. He knows the team. 2 of the best columns of the year from him. And he's got the relationship. He's with the players, all that type of stuff. Also the place to go for player audio, Cody Stoots YouTube channel. What do we got going?
I mean, you laid it out there. We got the 11 observations and then some from the game on Houston football. We already got the 4 big takeaways on the YouTube channel as well. Tons of stuff, man. The Landry's channel is great. It always giving you something, constant content. That's what we work on here on YouTube, is just constantly giving the people stuff to consume about this team. Short form stuff, short videos, long videos. I give you locker room stuff throughout the week as well. We'll have a locker room video this evening and tomorrow, or either tonight or tomorrow morning, whenever that goes up. I mean, there's just so much fun stuff. It's just a whole nother week. You know, Slowick says 3 more games, so you can't get to 4 and 3 before you get to 2, but a whole nother week to talk about this team. It's going to be a fun offseason, but I want that offseason to stay away
what's wrong with you?
It's going to be, I want that offense season to stay as far away as possible.
What the hell's wrong with this guy? All right, I'm going to let you go on that. No, talking off season. What the hell's wrong with this guy? your ass out of here, Stoots. That's Cody Stoots.
Shut up.
Cody Stoots YouTube channel and Houston football. Hit that like. Be like Tyson. Hit that like. Go back. Hit the like. Appreciate you for coming through. Been fun, man. Really, really fun. Sit back, watch. We'll figure out what happens, where the Texans go. Right now, though, you got to feel crazy. That CJ Stroud swing, that from what happened last time to this, who knows what's happened. It might be time to get greedy. One thing we know, DeMeco Ryan, CJ Stroud, they got the Texans as far as they've ever been. Can they go to the AFC Championship game? I don't know. But I wouldn't count them out. Fun times, fun vibes. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your holiday if you have it on Monday. We'll sit back. We'll figure out who they're going to play. And no matter what happens, no matter who they play, no matter whether they won tonight, lost tonight, whatever, when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together. Appreciate y'all for coming through.
Yeah, it's the Locker Room on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey, Locker Room. Yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every angle's what we really do. We the source. We the pulse of the city too. Landlocked. Got the game in the headlock. Localize every time. Can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, we top 2 and we not too. Plugged in daily digital on YouTube. We got taste for days, opinions to give, we got takeaways. If it's up, then it's up. We number one. You don't need to try your luck. Locker room, yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk, yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every angle's what we really do. We the source, we the pulse of the city too.